Players, what a night for Manchester United fans. It was truly remarkable, and a cool head on young Marcus Rashford in that dramatic moment. Graham, we were talking before the game about all the famous United comebacks. Where does that rank?
For me, other than when they've actually won the tournament, I think that is the greatest ever achievement. I think when you look at the players that were on the field in Man United strips, I never gave them hope. Well, they've always got a chance, but it would be a very small chance. And I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I think they were so well set up. I think what did they get wrong tonight? They should have got Bailey off sooner than 35 minutes. But the rest of it was just an example of how you know you're inferior to the opposition, but you're not going to be rolled over by them. And you have to say they enjoyed a wee bit of luck on the night. But to a man, they were heroic. And I can only think of when they've won this tournament would be bigger achievements. Some of those players won't play big parts in Man United's future. But they've gone there tonight against a team full of superstars, on paper anyway, a team that a lot of people fancied to go all the way this year. And they've outmanoeuvred them. They've been disciplined in everything they did. And as I said, I think the only criticism I could offer up would be that they should have got Bailey off before 35 minutes. What a fantastic achievement.
Putting that aside, Kevin, and we're going to come to that in more detail, the Bailey at right back problem that they had, in terms of the spirit of the team, the way they got reorganised, the way they hung in there, and they eventually, as Graham says, the luck broke their way. I think United fans are saying, give him the job now, aren't they?
How can they not now? How can they not? I'm totally in agreement with what Graham's saying in relation to the result itself and the magnitude of the result, because look at United's starting 11 tonight. Look at the history of results at United. They've got big results in Europe. They had world-class stars in the side. There aren't too many, if any, in that United side that you class as world-class. And I just think that the result, who they brought off the bench tonight as well, yes, we know the substitution of Dalot coming on for Bailly. Yeah, that aside, second half, bringing on Chong and Greenwood, two youngsters with no experience of first-team football, little experience of first-team football. And it's just how they dug in together, doing the job, just getting through that game tonight without conceding that second goal. That was key to it. And then going on, and yes, they did have a bit of luck. Don't get me wrong, I thought the penalty was harsh on PSG at the end, but you've got to credit them for staying in the game.
It's an unbelievable turnaround, Brian, from the team that we watched in the group stage. The poverty of the displays under Mourinho, isn't it?
It is. I mean, my only get out on this is that I didn't watch the first match. I was watching Porto that night, but I believed everything that I heard.
From the experts here beside you?
No, from all the experts. And I believe that. And I watched a bit of PSG and other games. And the only hope I gave for United at the back of my own head was that PSG had conceded goals. And I thought it was a mad one to take on Buffon as their main goalkeeper this year, because I didn't think he played well. But it is really extraordinary what they've done. The change they made, as I said earlier, in bringing Dalot on, young 19-year-old player. He's not like he's an experienced man to fill in over there where the problem was. He'd only played a few matches for Porto last season, and he came in and did that job defensively, but he also got forward and attacked. From the first few minutes he got on, actually the last instant of the first half, he whipped the ball into the right-hand side that was deflected back into Buffon's arms.
And had the shot that was
exactly
the big moment.
And he's there at the end.
He was the only one claiming for the penalty.
Yeah. Well, Graham, I don't know if you want to be your job to be the party pooper and all this for United fans. Was that a case of a decision given by VAR that would never have been given in any other realm of football or in previous VAR? Was it justified?
I don't think it's a penalty. You know, the guy's, he's not been the bravest. Watch. What was he, 5-6 yards away? He turns his back on it, he knows nothing about it. It certainly hits the back of his arm.
The shot's not even on target. The shot's going way over the bar as well.
You know, I mean, I turned to Kevin and said, this will be the first corner. And then the shout goes up, it ain't a corner. Yeah. He's reviewing it. I mean, it's harsh on him. I don't think it's a penalty.
A deliberate act of a player making contact with the ball.
Well, I don't see that being deliberate. He's just
often we hear nowadays, has he made himself a bit bigger? That's what I often hear, retired referees saying about these incidents.
But there's no clarification on that, Brian.
No,
You ask 10
no,
referees,
I
5 will
know
say
that.
one thing,
Yeah.
5 will say the other.
I think if you're refereeing in different leagues around Europe, some refs see that one way, some see it another way. That's exactly how that is. Personally, I don't think that's a penalty.
But
It's
the,
not
the referee in the game didn't see it. He was given a corner
Yeah.
kick and he was leaving it at that. So that's where VAR come into it. It's supposed to be where it's a clear and obvious error, as I understood it.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a clear and obvious error on the referee's part.
Match-changing situation, that phrase is used as well. It certainly was that. But I want to get into a little bit of the detail of the first half. And it was an unbelievable first half as well, in the sense that United got the perfect start, and then we had that situation where Bailly was proven to be such a liability, yet went in at half-time 2-1 ahead.
Well,
Kevin, look at the goals in the first half.
the way I looked at Eric Bailly tonight, it was as if he was saying to me, I don't want to be here. I don't want to play in this position. The manager asked me to do a job tonight. And Graham touched on it during the game. He said, OK, yeah, boss, I'll do that. But he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to play in that position tonight. And he was caught out continuously in that first 35 minutes. And United were lucky that they actually didn't concede more. And that's what I would say.
Yeah.
It was so lucky because of that.
Let's have a look at those first half goals then, Kevin. Just talk us through them. Just the flow of that first half.
Yeah, I mean, the first goal, they get a bit of luck again. Kehrer, he doesn't look where Thiago Silva is, plays the pass, bit of pressure. Got to maybe credit United's 2 attacking players. That's Rashford putting Kehrer under pressure, Lukaku picking up on the error, and then rounding the keeper a little bit at full stretch. He does well actually from the angle to finish it. That's just the pressure that they put on. Graham did a little bit of the analysis at half-time during the game. Eric Bailly, he's the top of the picture. You see him there, and he switches off initially playing Mbappe on side, and then Bernat, he doesn't even track the run. He doesn't have his body shape up. Look at his body shape. He turns his back on the attacking player, allows Mbappe. Mbappe can only put it in one place. He allows him to put it across 6-yard box, and it's a tap-in. United got a bit of luck here. This was the first spell in the game. They only had 100 passes, completed passes in the first half. They had 12 in the lead up to this goal. And maybe Brian touched on as well, Buffon gets caught out, and Lukaku gets the rewards for it just by following it up.
I think we've got another penalty in the other game.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away, Graham. it's unbelievable.
What two nights of football we've had.
We'll come to that in due time. Brian, the change, though, 10 minutes before half-time, poor old Bailly was called ashore. And as you said, Dalot came on. The change was made. I think we have a few bits here of what it was like before and after.
Well, I think we've got the after. We saw the before there on the goal. And here's the after. Ashley Young drops back into the right-back position.
There's a few examples of before as well. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realise. So we're getting the before bits, and they're getting in very easily, PSG, continuously down the left-hand side. Bailly jumps in, Di Maria just runs by him. It's a doddle to get there. Alves can't keep it down, can't keep the shot down, and here we see him going off. And we could have added the goal to that. Now you see a different shape. So Ashley Young is playing right back, and Dalot was over there. Look, and Fred has dropped in, and look at the distance between them. They're quite close. They're trying to squeeze. Verratti trying to squeeze her in, and Fred wins it, and away they go. And each time they attacked up that flank, now the 5 are in possession again. Young on the inside, closer to Smalling. Dalot on the outside, looking after Barnett, keeping his eye on him when they try to play it through the gap. Again, Fred picks her up. This is just in the last few minutes before half-time. Here's the second half. Now, Ashley Young this time is actually caught a little bit of pace. He slows down and allows Di Maria to get in behind him. Fortunately, he's offside. This is more typical of it. The ball comes out. There's the Manchester United. Now, it was a back 5 when they hadn't got the ball. When they had it, Dalot was up there. But here they go. They just haven't forced to play it back and back across the pitch, and there's no sign of Di Maria getting in behind them. And it made a great difference to how they were more comfortable there. The rest of the players felt comfortable behind them, that it was dealt about. And we saw McTominay getting on the ball, Fred getting on the ball, and Pereira doing better.
And it was just a case then that they hung in there.
Yeah.
Waited for the chance to come. OK, it came through extraordinary circumstances, but they were always going to get one chance.
Well, it was. They really threatened, I think, with really good play, United. I think they were solid, defensively minded. They were certainly the 2 banks of 4s or 5, as Brian touched on there as well as it was. But they had so many bodies behind the ball continuously throughout. The real threat came from maybe long balls, just balls clipped in behind PSG's defence, and that's how they were getting in, and that's what was causing a few problems for PSG.
Where now for the PSG project? project, Graham? It's
Well,
3 years in a row
Tuchel
they've
gets
bombed
sacked.
out.
Tuchel gets sacked. He's told tomorrow that we'll be looking for another manager for next year.
He won't get sacked after 1 year, will he?
Well, yeah, I think it's a harsh place to work. You know, they felt this was going to be their year. They've shown a vulnerability again. On to the new man.
That result's bigger than Barcelona's beating them. And the reason why I say that is because of the
Man
team.
United's team.
The team. Barcelona had Suarez, Messi, Iniesta,
Neymar at the time.
Neymar. They had
The
superstars.
critics will be out tomorrow in the French papers, you can imagine. They've lost to Man United's reserve team. And they have. That's what they've done.
Fundamental flaws that we picked up in the previous years about the character of them as a club and a team and what they're about.
You can look at the penalties up for debate, but two very obvious mistakes. Kira, you know, they're obsessed with the earliest part of the game. Everyone's full of, you know, fire and vigour and aggression, and you're trying to turn the ball back to your either centre half or goalkeeper blind. Just put your foot through it, and it's not a problem.
Yeah.
And so that's a mistake. And then Buffon, I think I cut him some slack. I think the minute it's dipped maybe 2 yards in front of him, picked up pace, and it's bounced in. So they're two obvious mistakes, and the penalty was one that I certainly don't think it should have been a penalty, but they've got away with it.
United march on. Big mistakes, big moments, cost PSG the tie, but United through to the quarterfinals. First time in 5 years.